Wrestling in video games is a relationship that is horrendous when it's done wrong, but it is incredible when it is done right. Most fans don't actually want to slam their bodies onto a wrestling mat, so they need video games to live out their fantasies, and these 10 wrestling games do it the best. WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game. So we know that this barely qualifies as a wrestling game, but you know what? We're gonna include it anyway because it's so damn fun. Released around the height of WWE's cartoony mid-90s days, WrestleMania, the arcade game captures that tone of the promotion's programming perfectly. Instead of scientific grappling, the game is an all-out brawler with projectile attacks, crazy slams, and freaking Doink the Clown, electrocuting opponents with a joy buzzer. The game is light on mods and features, but for a quarter in the arcade, it was perfect. SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 pushed Yuke's SmackDown series in a simulation direction, but the 2007 iteration refined the formula for the better. Introducing ultimate control moves and arena hotspots to the series, the game allowed you to use the environment to your advantage more than most other wrestling games. The game really shines with season mode though, featuring branching paths and decent voice acting. For the amount of replay value and methodical pace to the gameplay, this was a WWE game you would be playing for a long time. Pro Wrestling on the NES. Light years ahead of other wrestling games at the time, Pro Wrestling's gameplay featured a surprising amount of depth for an NES title. It was well-paced, has actual grappling moves instead of just strikes, and a presentation that feels like a real wrestling promotion. It's the best grappler on the NES, and remember that the winner is you. Then, now, forever. WWE 13. While the Attitude Era was by no means perfect, it was still when wrestling was at its hottest, so it holds a dear place in a lot of people's hearts. And for all those people, THQ's WWE 13 is the love letter we always wanted. Boasting a jam-packed roster of Attitude Era favorites and a story mode spanning from 1997 to WrestleMania 15, WWE 13 captures all of the best moments from that era. Combine that with the usual excellent creator modes and fluid gameplay, you have one of THQ's greatest hits. WWE Day of Reckoning 2. Submission systems are usually an often forgotten aspect of wrestling video games, but WWE Day of Reckoning 2 on the GameCube has the best submission system in any wrestling game. Once locked into submission, you choose either to taunt, drain, rest, or tap out your opponent. Each type has a different effect and adds tons of depth to the gameplay. Along with that, the game boasts an original story and great graphics. Day of Reckoning 2 is a hidden gem of WWE games. WWE WrestleMania 19. Now you may think you've seen it all in WWE programming in video games, but we doubt you've seen anything quite like this. In WrestleMania 19's Revenge Mode, you pick a wrestler and beat the holy hell out of dock workers, construction workers, and janitors as revenge for Mr. McMahon firing you. Does it make sense? Hell no. Is it hilarious and insane? Oh hell yeah! You can beat Brock Lesnar and suplex people into water. What more do you want? WCW NWO Revenge. For the most part, WCW games are complete trash. But if you take the time and dig beneath all the garbage, you will find WCW NWO World Tour and Revenge, although we're giving the nod to Revenge. Boasting a giant roster for the time, stunning animation, and simple to learn yet hard to master grappling system, WCW NWO Revenge is easily the best WCW game ever made. Fire Pro Wrestling returns. Across the world in Japan burns a wrestling game series renowned for its excellence, the Fire Pro Wrestling series. One of the few to hit North America was Fire Pro Wrestling Returns on PlayStation 2. The series has never had the license of any promotion, but the game gets around this. The Creator Wrestler mode is insanely deep, and the over 300 characters they do have are filled with loose ripoffs of real-world wrestlers. The timing-based grappling system is also a break from the button mashing, and this game lives up to the rep of the series very well. WWF No Mercy. When gamers still use the Create a Wrestler function for a game that came out in 2000, you know you did something right. Released around the peak of WWE's power, No Mercy is legendary in just about every category. The grappling is smooth and responsive, and the roster is complete. The story mode is ahead of its time, and the customization available is astounding. The game is the total package. A staggering 16 years after its release, WWF No Mercy took a lower-tier WWE pay-per-view and made it into the WrestleMania of video games. WWE SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. Taking the fast-paced nature of the SmackDown series, but adding location-specific damage and more in-depth grappling system, WWE SmackDown Here Comes the Pain was an absolute delight. The oodles of customization and backstage areas also ensure that you'll never be tired of this title. If that isn't enough for you, it's the only WWE game we know that lets you do an elbow drop from a helicopter. Seriously. That's it for our list. Was there any hidden gems that we forgot to include? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to the Sportster on YouTube. Until next time.